Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to the LeakYou.com YouTube channel. As I told you guys earlier, I have an exclusive interview today with Kokea Jackson from Houston, Texas. Probably the biggest advocate of Maleah Davis that I have seen since this case started. So just really quick, as always, let me go check the chat room and make sure everything's running okay. And then we'll begin our interview.
Give it to me. Just put it on the end.
Okay. Just waiting on it to start here. So it says it's broadcasting. I'm just waiting to see it in the chat here, or waiting to see it actually broadcast on YouTube. Got your cell phone?
You want my cell phone?
Yeah, just go on YouTube.
Okay, go get my cell phone.
And see if you see it. Oh, it says we're live. Okay. Okay, we're live. We're live.
That's okay. Never mind.
All right, guys. So you guys, welcome Kokea Jackson from Houston, Texas, to our live. We've got the camera set back a little bit. I hope that the view is fine for you guys. But I wanted to come down to Houston, Texas, because this weekend is a special weekend for Maleah. They're going to be lighting up downtown pink in her honor, as that was her favorite color. And then tomorrow there's the Maleah Davis walk that starts at 7:54 a.m. And the reason it starts at that time specifically is that's the last time that Maleah Davis was seen. First off, welcome. I really appreciate you doing this interview with me.
Thank you.
I want people to know about who Kokea is. Who is Kokea? Who is... By the way, let me say, every live video this woman does on Facebook goes viral, okay? Definitely go follow her Facebook page, and I will put the links in the description after this broadcast. But, you say a lot of things that people feel but may not have the guts to say. But you also have been doing a lot of other activist type work behind the scenes on this case. So tell everyone a little bit about who Kokea Jackson is.
It's just, I have been through the rain with this case. Oh my God, rain and storm. But I'm not going to stop. When the case first started, I thought it was like, I'm like, Greenspoint, I'm from Greenspoint. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in Greenspoint. So then I seen, he go to the hospital with the baby. I'm like, well, what child, 1 year old, gonna sit there 24 hours? He's unconscious.
Right.
Okay. Then that was the second strike. The third strike is that some Mexicans had took Maleah. That's the third strike.
Right.
Okay. Then the days went by. I tried not to. I didn't say anything. The days went by. Still no Maleah. So my daughter said, "Mama, have you seen the case about the little girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been looking at it, but she might be found." That's what I said. So then time went by. Brittany got on the news. And my child was missing. Oh my God. News, I don't want to talk to anyone. Just help me find my child. So that happened. So next thing you know, DV was supposed to report to the police. No DV. There it goes. I said there's some loops in this hole, a bunch of bull crap.
Yeah.
So after that happened, they found the car. I went out there to Missouri City. I seen it.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you see Brittany out there?
Yeah, I seen her on the ground, beating the ground like she was.
Yeah, we've seen that video.
Okay. Anyway, she was beating the ground like she was just so angry. Where's Maleah? Where's Maleah? Okay, that's whatever. Okay, after that happened, DV still missing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next thing you know, they found DV. Whatever happens, Cornell X get in the middle with Brittany. He's her bodyguard. DV went to jail. This, that, and the other. $1 million bond.
Right.
Next thing I know, he get from Fort Bend to Harris County, $45,000 bond.
Yes.
I'm like, this is a bunch of bull crap.
That's right.
On a child. up, and like something's not right. What mother wouldn't be insane by now? It's going on about 3 weeks now.
The tears. What did you think about her interviews that she was doing where it would seem like she was trying to cry, but and honestly, I'm just in my opinion, I really didn't see a lot of tears.
It was fake. Yeah. I have cried these last 2 days with a bunch of bull crap that's going on, more than Brittany have cried in the whole month.
Wow.
Because I'm just so hurt that a baby 4 years old will be done like this. This is a hurting situation.
Yeah.
No, she's not kin to me. No kind of way. I never seen a little girl. I never touched a little girl. But it's still that I have lost a child before. So I know how I feel. My child would have been 23 years old and I still hurt behind that.
Wow.
So I just don't think that she just, I just don't know what kind of mother what kind of mother would allow this to happen.
Right.
When the baby came back, okay, they say they found a baby in Kansas, right?
Right. I recall that.
What mother wouldn't been at the airport when their child came back? I don't care what the gag order say. I don't care what the judge say. The judge already failed her. CPS already failed her. So what else can they do?
Right.
I would have jumped the gate to see what's at my baby.
And just real quick, guys, just checking the chat. For some reason, I don't know why our live chat is not working here, but it may be related to what I was telling you before. So here's what I'm going to do just to be double safe is this right here. Let's do this. Bear with me, guys. We're just making sure that everything is working appropriately. Is any, I'm for some reason not able to see the live chat. I don't know why, but just in case, I'm going to actually video this just in case I actually have to upload it instead. So bear with me a sec here. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. That'll work. So you can look at either one, but for some reason, after our conversation happened yesterday. So essentially, how did I meet Kokia? On Facebook during one of her infamous lives, during one of her viral lives, and she allowed me to come on and ask her if it was possible for me to come down here to Houston and talk with her since I was coming down anyway. And, unfortunately, some crazy things happened during that live stream, but it may have affected my ability to go live, being hit with a community strike by that particular person. And I'll be investigating that, and I will be fighting that with YouTube. So I'm not able to see the live chat. Hopefully this is broadcasting clear enough, but I'm recording it as well. Should we, need to upload it that way. All right. So what I want to talk to you about really quick. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
It was kind of, you guys, give me a minute here. You know how shit gets all crazy whenever you're live. Nothing ever goes right. All right. Now that looks clearer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Peace. Come on, baby. And I can edit the video too. All right, come on. Be still for me. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so they found the car. You've seen Brittany. And then you mentioned about, the airport. And I want to ask you this, and I asked you this during the live stream. How did you feel when Maleah was found and none of her family was at the airport to actually be there when her body came home?
I cried. Because I found out the father have a gag order against him. He's trying to get his son, so it's so much that he can do.
Right.
When attorneys tell you no, you have to do what they say. He's trying to fight to get his baby, so I understand Craig's point.
Yeah.
So, but as being a mother, I don't care what the gag order say.
She wasn't a suspect. She wasn't being named as a suspect. There was no reason for her to not be at that airport to welcome her child. I mean, it was obvious if Quanell X was able to walk in and say he got this confession. I know Quanell X is a different topic, but it was obvious it was most likely her. And on top of the fact, she's probably not going to help pay for this private jet or the resources spent to search for Maleah all this time. I mean, as a Houston citizen, how has this affected Houston, the Houston community?
It affected the whole world, just not Houston.
Yeah.
This is a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely agree. I'm in Dallas, and we're talking about it in Dallas, like,
it's got me where I get up at 12, 1 o'clock every day before this case really got really, really big.
right.
I'm up at 8:30, 9 o'clock every day. I can't go to sleep
Right.
because every time I hear the word dismembered, that hurt my heart to know that you would cut up a baby. So that dismembered means your arm here, this arm might be here, your head might be here, your toes might be here. When I heard them people say it took 3 hours to find body pieces, and then a lawnmower rode over her, didn't make it any better.
And do you know they were out there searching again a few days later still?
For some more pieces.
Yeah. I honestly can say that I've worked a lot of crimes and justice cases in my career. And I've never seen a private citizen so affected by a case than I've seen with you. You have not only been affected, but you've been also helping people, the family. You've been helping, a lot of the citizens of Houston. Do you want to kind of elaborate on anything in regards to some of the things that you've done?
I did a balloon release. It was a great success.
I heard that. I heard there was a lot of people there.
I decorated my theme was unicorn. I had like a birthday party. I did that. We had a DJ.
Yeah.
We let the balloons go out. The kids rode on the concrete because we had a Brewster Park basketball court. The kids wrote messages to Maleah. It was really touching. It was. I think I did it. I think we. Now I'm quit saying me, because it took a community to do that. We did a good job.
Let's admit, you're driving quite a lot of this. I mean, let's be honest here. You deserve credit for that.
But I don't want anyone to think that it's just about Kokia.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's all about Maleah.
That's right.
I want justice for this baby, because I believe this. There's so many people. We got some people that's talking.
Right.
But my mouth is so big. My mouth is, just they know I'm going to go there, because when I get angry, I say some stuff that hit home to some people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. I'm going to keep on. I don't mean that it's a rumor going around that I stole money. No, ma'am. I purchased the tickets for Brittany's sister and Brittany's stepmom to get here.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I don't want any of you all to miss this, because this is important. Mm-hmm. So Brittany has a sister named Natasha.
Right.
And her stepmother.
Natasha's mom.
And so Brittany and Natasha share the same father. They do not share the same mother. And so you, out of the kindness of your heart, purchased plane tickets for them to come to Houston. Tell the audience
let me tell you what happened.
Coming for.
I got a call from Natasha. When she called me, she said, I asked who was this. She said, Natasha. And I said, who is Natasha? She said, Brittany's stepsister, whatever you want to call it. And I asked her, what the fuck does she want? She said, no, I have some information you can use. She started telling me some stuff. So I said,
is it anything close to some of those text messages that we've seen, where it pretty much Natasha seems to implicate her sister and says that she didn't protect her daughter?
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
She said that to me, and then when she said that she was trying to get in touch with the authorities here, I'm like, she said they haven't called her back, so I'm like, maybe if I get them here, they might be the key witness that we're looking for. Mm-hmm. Today, pop off, I purchased the tickets last night. Talked to Natasha, everything.
So understand what she's saying. She purchased these airplane tickets last night. So you know that's not cheap to buy a ticket for someone to fly next day. The next day. It wasn't something she purchased a month in advance. This was next day.
She texted me today at 2:34, and a text message says she appreciate me, but this did the tickets, but she's not gonna come. So next thing I know, I get something from one of my friends, sent me something and said that it was saying that some people did send some money. I'm not going to lie, on Cash App, and I appreciate those that sent it. So after that happened, I get a text saying, Kokia, they saying you're a thief, this and the other. What the fuck are you talking about? Stole what? No. This girl knew about the tickets. Her mother knew about the tickets. So what are you talking about? So when I got ready to call Natasha, when I seen it, she never answered the phone for me again. But I called her mom, and the girl that had something to do with it, called her, whoever she is. I got her and the mother on the phone. Mm-hmm. The mother said what she had to say, and the mother said that no, Kokia didn't steal anything. We was aware of what everything that was going on. So the girl like, no, Natasha did. Natasha said that she lied to you, Kokia. But I'm like, why would she lie to me just to get to Houston? Say she want to beat Brittany ass. I don't know what the situation is. Okay. So now it's going around that I'm a thief. I haven't took anything from Maleah. I wouldn't take anything from this baby. The tickets was purchased, and she knew the tickets was purchased. So I'm telling you guys, I didn't steal anything. I don't have any reason to steal anything. I have did tons of shirts today, but I have people giving me $1 for the walk tomorrow. That's how dedicated. It's ink, it's paper, it's t-shirts that I have just gave to people. Yes, I did ask for a donation, but they didn't give it. I didn't make a big deal about it. So money, no. And like I tell people, I don't want no fame. I'm not kin to Maleah no kind of way. I just want justice for the baby. Whoever did it, they need to be fucking charged. That's something I say.
You know, you make a really good point. I agree with you, and I can attest to. She's been so busy today trying to get to catch her. She's been making shirts. I know that for a fact, and she literally has not even. If you want to donate, she can, but she's been giving these shirts away. This is coming out of her own pocket, and then she's purchased plane tickets for Natasha to come down to Houston and out of her own pocket. So I don't know how people can call you a thief.
Well, some people did send some money on Cash App. I'm not going to. Yes, they did. They did help with what they helped.
There's nothing, you guys.
But then now they want their money back. So if they want their money back, give them the fucking money back. I don't care, because I don't want anyone to say that I took anything. Right. But I know within my heart why did I do it, because the girl told me she had information, and I thought that maybe the authorities can use that. But
absolutely. And I think too, with her being so far away, it's really hard for authorities to talk to somebody all the way in Massachusetts in a real authentic way.
Right.
It's kind of important for that person to come down here if possible. And so, I mean, the fact that you did this and now you can't get a refund on these flight tickets. How are you feeling about that right now?
I'm fucking pissed, because I have a family at the end of the day.
Right.
And I have 4 girls, 2 boys, and a grandbaby.
4 girls, 2 boys, and a grandbaby.
Well, it was 4 girls and 3 boys. I had a baby that I lost.
I'm sorry to hear
that. But I'm okay. I'm not doing it for no fame. Was that
recent?
No, it's been years ago. He would have been like 23. I'm not doing it for any fame. I just wish you would have been honest with me and would have told me the truth, and maybe it would have been a different situation, because I don't want anyone to think that I need $1 from you for anything that I have done for Maleah.
And I feel the sincerity there, honestly, just talking to her and speaking with her throughout today. And so for those of you out there that are throwing that around, stop doing that. There's no reason to do that. This woman has done more for Maleah than her own mother has done. Seriously, her own mother. I know for a fact Brittany was not at that balloon release. I know for a fact Brittany has not done any searches at all in regards to trying to find her baby.
They say she passed out a couple flyers. I heard that. I'm not going to take that from her.
I did see that, but she wasn't out there with Echo Search. She wasn't, she was defending Darian in the first week of this. I mean, I seen the Facebook post where, she posted those pictures of them at Chuck E. Cheese. And, so let me ask you this. Have you seen the leaked text messages from between Brittany Bowens and a friend, in which Brittany seems to keep, for some reason, she keeps making an issue of how long she was in the home the morning that Maleah, the last time that Maleah was seen. So on April 30th, Darian Vance brought Maleah home that morning, it was 7:54 a.m., which is when we're going to walk tomorrow, actually. And then he left at 8:50 a.m. to go to work. And I caught all this on surveillance footage. And then Brittany was there. You know, Maleah was there, but for some reason, Brittany doesn't, you know, she's either trying to minimize how long she was at the apartment that morning, and even at the point of telling some people she didn't even know Maleah was there. She said that she didn't even know her baby was in the home, in the apartment, that Darian snuck her in and to the home. And have you seen these text messages?
No, I haven't. I really, that part, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm so upset at Brittany. Anything that I see that's coming, like the when her, I glanced through the stuff with her and Natasha, and I just left her alone because I just can't believe that a text message is so important that your baby is missing.
Right.
Your baby is dead, and you steady going back and forth. I wouldn't have a time in a day to argue with anybody. My baby is dead. And not coming back.
And I hear she actually keeps trolling you. Or her friends keep attacking you basically online recently. Has this affected like your Facebook account? Or
it's not going to affect it.
Are you getting like messages, mean, rude messages? Are they threatening you in any way?
I'm getting all of it. But the threatening, it's not going to bother me because I promise you, they don't want that trouble.
Second, turn this a little bit here more. So, do you feel like your physical safety is okay?
I'm okay.
Okay. And if you weren't, definitely.
I know what to do.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people have a lot of theories about this case. A lot of people do. And really there's two main ones. That Darian Vince snapped, killed Maleah while, Brittany was gone to Massachusetts. And the other theory is that Brittany actually may have killed her. And Darian is the cover-up, or the fall guy, or the person covering it up. And the reason why and this is all allegedly, everyone, this is all opinion, this is all speculation here, but we can't get away from the facts that Brittany is making a point of trying to make it seem like she either didn't know Maleah was home that morning, that she, Darian snuck her in, which I don't know how you could sneak a 4-year-old child into an apartment. Maleah was so far back from him when they were walking in, you would think if you sneak her in, he'd be holding her. Do you have any theories on what may have happened?
I just can't believe that she didn't see the baby come in the house.
Yeah.
If you sit on the patio, the patio is wood. There's gaps between the woods. And you should be able to see two people coming in.
Yep. And you mentioned a good point about that, because the patio, literally, it's like me facing you. The patio was here. Darian was walking this way towards her. Mm-hmm. So how did you see Darian and not see Maleah? I don't understand that.
It's a fucking lie.
I know. I agree with you. I think it's a lie
because
as well.
My grandbaby is 7 years old.
Right.
And I could be in there asleep.
Mm-hmm. She's
going to make enough noise for me to get up.
Yeah.
And this baby's 4 years old.
Well, I caught her in those leaked text messages lying too, because she was even saying things like, I physically checked their room. I saw all 3 of my kids leave with Darian. Well, why would you go check their room to see if they're there, yet you watched them all physically leave? That doesn't make sense. So that off the cuff, I was like, that's weird. And I mean, she really, really, really was trying to convince this person that she did not know Maleah was there, said that he snuck her in. And I just, to me, she could have just easily said, I went to Massachusetts, I left my baby with Darian, something happened. But because she has done all of that, it makes her look like maybe there's more to it than what she's been saying.
Right.
So that's just, something I wanted to ask, is if you had it, based on being in Houston, talking to people in Houston, is there what are other Houstonians thinking as far as theories? Have you heard any, other theories, or are people really pissed at Brittany right now?
Brittany's trash.
Yeah.
The whole world just can't. seeing to grips. How can you let your child? Then she said that he was molesting the baby.
Right.
Not one time, not two times.
And they said that he was bringing her back from daycare. And that got me too, because I was like, did you say that? Because that morning, you know that he was bringing her home,
My thing is this,
you know?
when she said that, I'm like, well, how do you know he was bringing her home?
Right. Right. She said she was
So
always
you just
home.
as guilty as him, because
Right.
she didn't work anywhere. He was the only one working, taking
Right.
care of her and the
And
kids.
from our discussion, apparently you know someone he works with, and
And they said
he's
he
a
was
hard worker apparently.
Yes, the girl did tell me that.
So apparently he really held the house down, and you know, it kind of falls in line with what we've heard about even Quanell X saying that, you know, maybe he did feel a little overwhelmed and was like a single parent because Brittany seemed to just like give up on parenting.
The girl
altogether.
that worked for him talked highly of him, and I'm not going to lie on him. I'll be wrong.
Yeah.
She said he was a hardworking man, and she did say he loved them kids.
Yeah.
She did say that.
You know, I think people can love their kids, but still stuff happens,
That's true.
unfortunately. So let me ask you about Quanell X and your thoughts. I think I know kind of your thoughts on Quanell X, but I mean, I want my audience to know, you know, from someone that's lived in Houston. And matter of fact, how long have you been in Houston? Your whole life? Or?
My whole life.
All right, so you're in Houston your whole life through. What are your thoughts on Quanell X with this case?
He's a joke. Because him going inside that jail, it really hurt this case.
From a legal standpoint.
Right. He might think he did something. And I could, you know what I said when it first? I commend him for what he did. He played checkers and chess with Brittany. He got what he knew and this, that, and the other.
You think that's all he was doing with her? Just
Yeah.
You don't think
he was
really-
just going to get information?
Yeah, I hear he's kind of known for that. Like,
Very.
okay,
He played the game with her. And
so he may have walked into that situation knowing the whole time that she was possibly involved or had some sort of knowledge.
Well, he said that. Well, he said a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
he said that she lied to him a couple times.
Yeah,
So then he said that that he just couldn't take it anymore, this, that, and the other. But
yeah.
Quanell is known for.
Well, he said he's seen her tell a lie on ABC 13
Yeah.
or something, and he said it was it after that.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, he's getting a confession from Darian Vince, and then Maleah's found.
Then no one else could get a confession.
Right.
Strange.
It is strange. It is strange. You know, the more you think about it, and I know his phone records have been subpoenaed.
Right.
So, I mean, it's obvious, as you guys can tell, she's been keeping up with this case. I know I keep up with this case daily, and you know all the details. And Darian Vince's phone records have been subpoenaed as well. Now, I think it was Click to Houston had reported that Brittany's were being subpoenaed, but then they retracted that and said that wasn't correct.
Right.
I'm like, but why?
That's not whole deal.
Why wouldn't you get her phone records? Like, you know, I think a lot of people feel like the Houston Police Department is not, they have tunnel vision,
Right.
you know, on Darian.
Mhm.
And I can't tell you how many people that when I do these videos say to me, they feel like Darian's a fall guy in this situation.
I do. I believe that. I don't believe within myself that he killed her. I think when he came back home, it was already done.
Like she snapped or something.
And he was left to clean up the dirty work.
Like he cleans up all her other dirty work.
Yeah. And he just.
What did you do? What did you think about the whole mistress coming out? But you know, she has multiple felony warrants, thus can't go down to the jail, but says she's writing Darian every single day. What did you think about that interview and her coming out?
I think that's a game too. Because I talked to a friend today that said that she was at the visual in the apartments
Mm-hmm.
and she got sick like she was going to pass out. Who does that?
Right.
If you don't have anything to worry about.
Right.
So it's a lot of loops in this story.
Yeah.
And I'm just ready for it to be over
I know what you mean.
because he's about to kill me.
How are you
4-year-old
doing?
baby.
How are you doing with everything you've been contributing? The walk tomorrow, the shirts. Which, by the way, I'm going to be wearing one of her shirts. How are you doing? I mean, you're honestly the loudest activist down here in regards to the Maleah Davis case. I'll be honest with you. Like, there's no one else down here in Houston, honestly, that I've seen, that's doing like you. You've been loud. You've been bad about it, straight up. And I appreciate that. And so does a lot of people that follow me. They appreciate that because same things you're saying, a lot of people are thinking that. And a lot of people don't have the guts to say what's on their mind. And I think a lot of people appreciate someone like you who's willing to say what's on their mind. And you've done a lot.
Thank you.
For Maleah Davis. So I personally thank you. The LeakYou family thanks you. It's crazy. This whole story does have a lot of loopholes, a lot of rabbit holes, and you can easily go down like with tunnel vision and zero in on one person and, forget that there's other people involved. So let me ask you about the brother. Darian Vince's brother.
Mhm.
What I hear stuff here and there in Dallas, but I've heard various things. Like, is he actually in Houston still, or is he in St. Louis?
He went back to St. Louis.
Okay. So, I mean, because I'm hearing they want to charge possibly 3 people in this case, and I've heard that from multiple people who said I've heard things like they want to charge Brittany as an accessory, along with child endangerment. I've also heard that Darian Vince's charges will be upgraded to capital murder, but I'm also hearing that his brother may be charged with something.
He hid him out. He knew what Darian had did. Darian had already talked to him. When he left the jail, he said his brother was innocent.
Right.
And
I remember that.
And it'll come to the light. So I'm like, oh my God. So if it's not Darian, who is it?
Right. Well, there's only one other person that was in the house that morning. And that's right. Just a couple more questions for you, Kokea. How much sleep are you getting with this case, with everything, with as much effort that you're putting into this?
It's really hard.
Because I see you on live 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 8 in the morning, in the afternoon. Like,
It's really
you're
hard.
so busy doing so much. And, I just really want to emphasize that whoever is spreading rumors that this woman, is a scammer or whatever with Cash App, you're disgusting. And that needs to stop immediately. And we need to support Kokea. This woman has done, like I said before, more for Maleah than her own mother has done for her. And so that costs money. That stuff is not free. Her buying shirts and pressing them, she's buying these shirts, giving these shirts away, and buying plane tickets. So you guys stop spreading those incorrect lies and rumors, please. It's not right. And do right by someone who's doing right by the community as a whole. Seriously. And I really want to emphasize that and spread that, because
Natasha
it's not okay. And for Natasha to know that you actually had the plane tickets booked, it's non-refundable. Do you know what time she was supposed to get on that plane?
I think at 5:30.
So she texted you literally only about 2.5 hours before the plane was to leave to tell you she wasn't coming. I honestly can't imagine how that would affect and hurt you, because the fact that you have your children and your own family, and you went out of your way to get airplane tickets for Brittany's sister, and she doesn't even want to show up. What's her reasoning? Does she have
Harassment.
Harassment.
But she did a bunch of lying.
Really?
She haven't told the truth.
So
Because
this
I
whole
wish you
family
would,
lies, it seems.
that's it. I wish you would have told me the truth
Yeah.
instead of telling me that she had information for the police. I wish you would have told me. And I would have never, we wouldn't have to worry about no cash app, no money or nothing. But first of all, I didn't beg anyone to send me anything on cash app. They asked what was my cash app.
What is your cash app?
Dollar sign, I can't remember. Kendra Sims.
Like KENDRASIMMS?
It's dollar sign KENDRA
KENDRA
capital SIMS.
capital SIMS. I'm going to promote her Cash App here because I feel like people should donate to her if you want to. She does make shirts. She's making shirts for the walk tomorrow. And she, like I said, just told you guys, she bought literally flight tickets. And I've seen these text messages. I've seen the actual flight. She literally did pay for this. So, you guys know me. I come with receipts. I wouldn't even be saying this if I didn't validate it first. So I want to share her Cash App for anyone that would like to donate to Kokia for everything she's did in this case. So that's $ Kendra Sims, KENDRASIMS. And I say it without any guilt. And I say it without any feelings of shame whatsoever, because there's no reason for you to feel guilt or shame. You did nothing but good things and the right thing. And you know how people are. People, honestly are probably hating on you because your Facebook videos are so viral. And people just say stupid stuff because you're the one that you're like the goat of the information, right? And so they're not the ones. And people just look at my situation with the lady yesterday who, had no reason to strike my YouTube page. There's no video of her on it. There's nothing. But all of because I went live with you and wanted to come down and talk to you. She was like, no, I don't talk to her. Blase, this. She just wants money. And everybody on YouTube knows I don't monetize anything. She didn't even validate this. And to hit me with a community strike, I'm totally going to fight that. Seriously, like that was a community strike for like no reason at all. You can't just do that and get away with it. And put videos about me on the internet. Like, this is about Maleah.
That's all the person is about.
And that's the one thing I kept noticing about your lives. Like, you are not with the bullshit. You are straight up like, this is about Maleah. If you're not going to talk about Maleah Davis, then I don't even want to hear it. And so I did keep that, and I'm like, I absolutely love this woman. She is really serious about it, and I really appreciate you. I just want to say I really thank you just for doing what you've been doing for Maleah.
And I'm not going to stop. Nobody's going to stop. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what people believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I have to do. Every court date,
You're going to be there. I might have to put a phone in your hand so you can go live for me.
I'm going to go live regardless.
Good.
Because I want everybody that has something to do with it, I want them gone.
When you think about all the possibilities of everyone who has something to do with it, do you have 2 people in your mind, 1 person, or 3 that you feel should be arrested and charged with a crime in relation to this case?
I have more than 3.
Interesting. Do you want to elaborate?
The grandmother.
Would that be Brenda, Brittany's mother?
She stayed in the household with them, so you knew something was going on.
Now, I heard that they lived together last year when Maleah had that head injury.
Yeah.
And I have a brain tumor. I'm not shy about that. And I've had brain surgery before, so I'm very familiar with the different parts of the head and the brain. She had a bad laceration in the front, but her temporal bone was fractured.
Right.
There's no way that you could have just hit your head on a marble table, and gotten these injuries in 2 completely separate locations.
Right.
My understanding, they were living with Brenda at that time. Mm-hmm. And even I've got the CPS documents, and it's very clear that CPS kind of alluded to thinking that Brittany could have been the physical abuser in that case. Why did CPS let her come back?
I'm so pissed off at the judge. It's just, oh my God, because if the judge would have did it, Maleah still be here.
And is this the Mexican judge that you were
Yes.
talking about? I mean, my understanding is they released Maleah to home because they didn't know. They couldn't determine who did it. And I'm like,
So
well,
if you
why
couldn't
would you send her
determine,
home?
I think you should have went to another doctor.
Absolutely. You should have did more investigation, something.
Right.
I mean, Maleah had to have drains placed. That's multiple surgeries to do that type
And
of
then
stuff.
if you look at the pictures, how many times did you see her helmet on?
I'm glad you brought that up because almost everybody talks about that on my page. It's the fact that she never seemed to have that helmet on. And that's critical because children are clumsy, children are playing, and all it takes is for someone just to her to fall or hit her head one time.
And that's it.
And that's it. I mean, even adults sometimes wear helmets, just if they're like really clumsy after I've had brain surgery. So I know. So it's like, you bring up a good point because I can tell you the only pictures I've seen her with the helmet on was at the hospital. I don't really recall seeing many other photos of her with that helmet on. And I think she was supposed to wear that for like a year or something like that, or a longer period of time. And her brain surgery was just in August last year?
Right.
So it's not even been a year. Wow.
I just hate that for that baby. At 4 years old, she endured a lot.
And we know she didn't kill herself and dump her own body in Arkansas.
Right.
We know that. So, Darian Vince is now saying that he didn't kill Maleah.
He's not a killer.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering, is he saying this because he's flipping on Brittany? Or is he saying this because his lawyer, wants him to say that? Because here's the problem, and I know we talked about this alluded with Quan LX. It's possible that he could have caused some legal issues with this case, okay? He could have caused some legal issues because of, and it's going to really depend. That's why they're subpoenaing his records. But if he got this confession under duress, the judge could throw it out, and any evidence related to that confession will also be thrown out. That's evidence, and I know that's got to upset you.
I don't know. I don't understand who would let him into jail. I just don't understand.
It sounds like he had a friend of a friend.
And it's not visiting hours.
Right. He got in there after visiting hours. And apparently his daughter had a premonition or a dream or something, and that's why he went down. My problem with Quan LX, honestly, is over the last week and a half, he's been doing interview after interview after interview. And to me, that's hurting the case. You're too close to it, and then you're being subpoenaed. He ripped that up. And it's like, you're doing all these interviews, but my problem is what he's saying seems to keep changing. So, like, for example, he said Darian was remorseless, had no remorse, was cold-hearted, cocky. Yet Chauncey Glover does an interview with him, and it was a complete opposite. Right. He was crying. So it's like, what do you believe? Because my problem is, and I'll be honest, my biggest problem with Quan LX is the fact that when he came out and did that news conference with Brittany in front of their apartments, he said and talked about things that had not been given to law enforcement first. Instead of going to the police and saying, hey, I got this evidence here, these text messages, he was molesting, he was beating Maleah, whatever the case may be, why are you doing a news conference before you go to the police? Right. Go to the police first, give them your evidence, and then do your news conference outside the police station when you're done. And that's when I started having a problem with his methods. Do you think that Darian actually, was doing those things, or do you think Brittany made that up? And this is just opinion. This is just speculation, guys. I think a lot of people feel that way, honestly. So you're not alone in that feeling at all.
I think that he just got into the wrong relationship.
I know his family says that. Did you see Ikit Mel's interview with the father?
Yes, I did. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
Did you feel like he was protecting his son?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I did too.
Mhm.
I did too. And you know, is Darian's brother his son too?
I think so.
And so, is the father the rapper or is Darian the rapper?
Darian's the rapper.
Darian's the rapper. Okay, because I seen a picture of him with Boosie, and I was like, okay. And the guy did look a lot younger than his age for sure, but he did definitely look like he was trying to protect his son. And then
Most definitely.
the body's found. It's like how, and here's another thing that I'm gonna run by you too. The day that Brittany came home, okay, is two things. The day that Brittany came home, why did you wait till May 3rd to walk out of that apartment with that basket in that trash bag, right? And then why is it that it's May 4th, the day after Brittany comes home, that you end up going to the hospital to report Maleah missing and report this elaborate story of him being jumped by Mexicans and all of this? And who drove him there? Now, we know it's been confirmed. I read, put the probable cause affidavit out there that it was Brittany's car that dropped him off at that hospital.
Right.
Surveillance footage, she watched it. The detective asked her, was that her car? She confirmed that was her car. And it's the day after she returned from Massachusetts.
So my thing is this: we haven't seen any footage from these stores.
Yeah,
Something is not right.
yeah,
Because every store around there in that area have cameras.
yeah.
I walked around.
You walked around and did you go in and ask any of them? Did they
I
have
didn't
any
ask
footage of
anything,
it?
but I seen the cameras.
Yeah. I'm sure people in that area, knowing that they have cameras, were probably looking. I'm hoping they were looking at their.
Then a metro
footage.
driver said she tried to call or police. No one, 222 tips or whatever they like.
Yeah.
They didn't know what she was talking about.
Really? I just find it very interesting that the day after Brittany came home, May the 3rd, then on May the 4th at 11:21 p.m., he's getting dropped off at the hospital
Right.
in her car, the one that was supposedly missing the day before. You know,
And then my concern is that the dog sniffed something.
right. That's correct.
What did that tell you?
That her body was in the trunk of that car. And you know what else it tells me? He left that night at 6:30 on May the 3rd.
Mhm.
He walked out of there at 6:30 p.m. Her flight got back, 8 p.m. or something of that nature. It's a 6-hour drive to Arkansas. And she knew he wasn't going to be able to pick her up. I mean, and I kind of feel like that may be another something that the police need to look at. It's almost like, how people try to create an alibi,
Right.
or try to create like, oh, we did this or this happened or whatever. But, how is it that, you claim you waited for him for 2 hours? I know her mother came and picked her up at the airport, but if she was in the know, she would have known he was not going to be there to pick her up that night.
Right.
I mean, there's just a lot of this, like you said, there's a lot of loops. This case is probably one of the most intense cases I've ever covered.
Yes, ma'am.
And honestly, it's the only case I ever actually busted out crime on video. And I've covered a lot of cases in my life. And this one had me crying. So I feel you. I feel you. So that's why I really wanted to speak to you. I could feel like the passion coming through on your videos on Facebook. And I won't be surprised if you'll get calls to be interviewed by other news agencies and, bloggers, etc. So be prepared, because you're absolutely viral out there right now. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you sitting down with me and meeting with me today.
Yes.
I think you were able to clear some things up in regards to this whole Cash App situation.
Right.
And provided some good insight into this case that I think a lot of people, want to hear. Do you have anything else that you want to say, or any last words? Or
I just want justice for Maleah. It's all about Maleah.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not about Brittany.
Yeah.
It's not about DB. Not about Jeanette, not about Brenda, Natasha, about Maleah.
Have you been out to the apartment at all?
Yes, I have.
Is it, because I wanted to go out today and put a teddy bear down in a cart. Is it kind of open where you can kind of just, I mean, is it still, do they still have these items there?
It should have been more than that. They said somebody removed some stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did Brittany just left? I mean, did she not move any of her stuff out of that
I
place?
think they said she went in, but they told her she couldn't go back in there or something. I'm not for sure about that.
Yeah.
But I know that they told her she couldn't go back in there.
Okay. Well, understood it's a crime scene.
Right.
So
She shouldn't have been in there from the first time when she went in.
let me ask you one more question before we end the interview. Do you know anything about Brittany and her mother's relationship right now? Because my understanding is, and
I
this
haven't
is
seen her mother, and that's very strange. To
really,
know that I'm a grandmother.
mm-hmm.
Anything my granddaughter say or do, I'm going to take it
Right.
to heart.
Right.
So I don't. And one thing I know that her daughter needs her right now.
Right.
Haven't seen her.
I got word through someone kind of close to her that said that she doesn't want to talk to Brittany right now because she doesn't feel Brittany's telling the truth about what happened. And that Brittany has always been a liar. And that and she also mentioned that she felt Darian did more for the kids than Brittany did. And that she didn't want to be involved in any of this because the day I don't know if you recall the day that news conference happened with the mother and Brittany was up there first and she was like, I can't do this anymore. There were no tears, but she said, I can't do this anymore. And then her mom had to finish the news conference and her mom was like, what do you mean? You got all these people here. Now's the time to put the word out. From that day forward, my understanding is, and this is from a source that spoke with her, that she feels like there's more to the story and she does not feel like she's gotten the whole truth about what has happened to Maleah.
I can understand.
And that's why she's not talking to her. And I don't know if you've seen the interview with KHOU's Lynn Cannon, he asked Brittany about that. He asked her, what's going on with you and your mom? Why are you guys not talking? And she said that her mom didn't want to be in the spotlight. That's just not true. Not true.
Not when it comes to your grandchild. It shouldn't matter the spotlight, no spotlight.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, everyone, I'm gonna, go ahead and end this live stream. Like I was telling you guys before, unfortunately, the live chat, I'm not able to see it, so I can't answer any questions or ask Kokea any questions right now. But it's been a pleasure to have her on. LeakYou.com investigates in regards to the Maleah Davis case. Remember, tomorrow we will be out there, doing the Maleah Davis walk. Wear pink, Maleah Davis's favorite color. Please, if you want to donate, to Kokia for everything that she's done and the cost that she's incurred, that she's not recouped, it's $ Kendra Sims. And I'll put all that information down at the bottom. And again, stop with the rumors. This is not a woman that's scamming anyone. Thank you for coming on and talking to me today. I really appreciate it so very, very much. And keep doing what you're doing. And anything I can do to help, just let me know.
I will.
All right. We're going to stop this, guys. I will chat with you guys later. Have a great night.